Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today, we're talking about immigration admissibility. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Zaiglul Kasab was an individual who was determined to be a senior official in the Iraq government. Under Canadian law, immigration officials can deny entry to a person and deem them inadmissible if they are a senior official in a foreign government that has engaged in human rights abuses. The Canadian immigration officials have determined that Iraq is one government that meets that criteria. Mr. Kasab worked as a chief engineer and argued that he didn't hold a senior official role, but rather had a titled position, something entirely different from being a senior official. And ultimately, the court did not agree with his interpretation of what his role was and found that he was inadmissible to Canada. The Supreme Court of Canada denied leave to appeal the decision. And this case raises really important questions in lots of ways. One of the reasons that we welcome so many immigrants to Canada is to give people a better quality of life. One of the reasons we prohibit people from coming into Canada who were senior officials in governments that have committed human rights abuses is because of national security. And these two competing interests are obviously very important, but this case raises the tension about people who might have been in senior jobs, but not senior officials in the sense of being ministers or vice presidents or presidents or playing an actual governmental role. And the difference between having a job, which of course many people need to survive, and having a job with a government that is oppressive and commits human rights abuses might be something as simple as your need to survive. And so characterizing a titled position as opposed to a ministerial or supervisory role as something that is holding the position of a senior official might unnecessarily prohibit people from coming to Canada who were working in those jobs because that was the only option available to them to keep their families safe. And those are the type of people that we're trying to bring into Canada and trying to protect from the things that happen in other parts of the world that we don't agree with and that we don't support in our society and that we want to protect other people from. So wouldn't it be appropriate for the Supreme Court of Canada to chime in on what the difference is between a senior official and just a senior titled position like Chief Engineering Officer? This was an unfortunate misstep for the Supreme Court of Canada not to hear this case because of how significantly it can affect potentially thousands of people out there who might need to escape their countries to come to Canada to protect themselves and their families and don't pose any national security risk at all. It's disappointing that the Supreme Court of Canada didn't take the opportunity to hear this case, and disappointing that somebody who might need to be let into the country ultimately wasn't. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and thank you to Brazen Bull Creative for putting together these videos.